something that I had been writing, and I haven't had a chance to really share it like I wanted to. I've been talking to a few other sisters about it, but it's an insert from my book, um, and it's called "Pain Can Mar Your Reflection." You know, with us women in the Hebrew community and coming into our identity and putting away past hurts and also dealing with the things that we have to unlearn. We harbor a lot of issues, we harbor pain. We are so unaware of the fact that so many other women are going through or have went through some of the things that we have experienced, because the enemy has caused us to silence ourselves because of the voices of that we've been listening to, the whispers. The enemy will take you off by yourself a lot of times so that he can just talk to you. And so I'm just so grateful for this awakening and the women that are being touched by the women's conferences, by learning the word from the beginning, going back to the roots. You're only a tree is only as strong and stands as tall as its roots. And so my my brief little snippet about pain marring your reflection. We all know that our outer appearance usually is a reflection of what's going on internally. You can tell what a person's diet is like based on their skin, their body, um, their appearance. You can tell what they are drinking, what they're not drinking. You can tell what somebody's smoking, what they're not smoking, what they're ingesting, what they're not ingesting, based on the looks of the outside. So we know that whatever is going on the inside finds its way out. And usually, when we see and look at ourselves in the mirror, no matter how you try to cut it or how you paint it, your appearance, your reflection is evidence of what's going on, what you're dealing with mentally, what you're dealing with physically, more so your words. What comes out of your mouth tells the condition of your heart. And I see so many beautiful women that have aged, and you can tell where there once was this beautiful woman full of purpose and joy who has held on to so much pain has become a parasite. So one point is pain is a parasite, and it can change who you are. And a lot of times that pain is manifest from unrealistic expectations, or from unrealistic expectations of people that we put on people who aren't even equipped to render us what we have expected them to give us. And a lot of times the signs are there, but the pain or that desire to have what it is we want from that person mars our reflection of, or our sight of who they are. They say hindsight is 2020, and it is true. When you have your eyes or your heart the object of your affection, usually you can't see the flaws that are already there, because love is blinding. It blinds you. And usually I wouldn't even call it love, because when you think about it, after you've come out of it, it's lust. Because the things that take place in a relationship that goes bad or that leaves you longing for or wanting something is usually you trying to gratify your own flesh. So what it is, a lot of times we choose the pain, and then we're angry with the person who was the object of our desire. Um, it could be dangerous when you gratify your flesh and not pay attention to the signs. We we should obey our creator. And a lot of times again, we look at a person to give us the thing that only our creator can satisfy. And with that, we harbor enmity towards others when in actuality, either they didn't know that you held them to this expectation, or you knew they were never capable of doing so, but because that was what you wanted, you held them to that extreme. So we need to refrain from disappointing ourselves by obeying our creator, by obeying what he says love is, how he tells us to analyze and be circumspect and watch people's words, watch their deeds. Words don't lie. Words lie, actions don't. I always say that. I said, people say a lot of things, but what they do usually is telling the truth on who they are. Our reflections can become marred also the moment we denounce what is true for what is false. Sometimes we have embraced a lie and wanted it to be true, and then spiral into this weird place where we even end up with a identity crisis. We switch places with the person who is incapable of giving. We dummy ourselves down to a point that we'll wait for them to give us what they're never capable of giving us. That's a down. When you downplay yourself like that, you're putting yourself in a place of spiraling out of control and marring your reflection as well, because you begin to become something that you're not. And that's another way the parasite eats away at you, because now you're full of these unrealistic expectations, anger, and bitterness, and all because you're desiring something from someone who's not even capable of giving it to you. Again, our promise from our creator is he promises not to disappoint. You can find that in Romans 10:11, Psalms 25:3, and Isaiah 49:23. Love is also observational. When we're looking for love, you should be able to identify it by the actions of the person. Love doesn't keep promising you something that it can't deliver. Love just does. Love is. It does. Love is patient. It's kind. It's not harsh. It doesn't hurt. Love corrects. Love doesn't demean. Love doesn't tear you down. Love doesn't make you wait to get what it is you desire in your heart, what's naturally deserving to a person is love, right? Even mankind, you're supposed to love your fellow brother and your sister, or your ak and your akoti. You don't withhold something that's free. So when you find yourself in these situations where a person is making you perform for love and affection, there's a problem. Um, Sometimes we want to appease our desires and our senses so bad we'll listen to what the enemy is saying. And we know the enemy speaks to our senses. And he acts on persuasive speech. He can't